Okay, let's talk about building wealth. For literally centuries, the price of admission to start a business or generate any real new income was massive, right? You needed to secure heavy bank loans, buy physical inventory, or lock yourself into a grueling 5-year lease on some retail space. But today, that traditional barrier to entry has completely collapsed. In this explainer, we're breaking down 10 distinct pathways to generate digital wealth, where your only necessary capital is your attention and your effort. We're going to look at methods that people all over the world are leveraging every single day, right from their laptops. It's fundamentally shifting how we think about modern earning potential. And look, if you stick with me here, you're going to see how the math behind some of these models can actually evolve into highly lucrative full-time income streams. But here's the absolute best part. The amount of financial capital you need to start these 10 pathways is exactly $0. And that zero, it represents a massive fundamental shift in economic risk. Just think about what that actually means for a second. You aren't buying thousands of dollars of product to just sit around in your garage hoping it sells. You're not taking on corporate debt. You aren't paying hidden startup fees. When your financial risk drops to absolute zero, the only variable left in the equation is your execution. You are literally building financial leverage out of thin air, using tools that are completely free to access. Because we often trick ourselves, don't we? We think we need specialized, incredibly expensive software or some kind of exclusive insider access to start making money in the digital space, but the data shows a totally different reality. So let me ask you, do you have an internet connection? Because that, along with relentless consistency and a willingness to learn, are the only true prerequisites. The entire digital infrastructure, we're talking the platforms, the marketplaces, the distribution channels, it's already built and it is completely free for us to access. The bottleneck to generating digital income is no longer the technology or the gatekeepers. The bottleneck is just personal initiative.
To make this super actionable, we're going to break this explainer down into a logical roadmap. We'll cover the zero investment reality, Tier 1 quick starts, Tier 2 selling skills, Tier 3 audience building, and finally, taking your first step.
Let's jump right into part 1, the zero investment reality. Look, in the digital economy, the formula is beautifully, remarkably straightforward. Skill plus time equals income. That's it. Instead of investing hard cash, you're investing sweat equity. This equation is your new business model. Whether you're dedicating just 5 hours a week on evenings and weekends, or you're making a massive full-time push of 50 hours a week, you're essentially taking what you already know, applying it over a set period, and converting that directly into value. You're trading your intellectual bandwidth and your time directly for revenue. You're bypassing the need for financial investment entirely.
Which brings us to our next section, Tier 1, quick starts.
So these pathways involve really straightforward actions. We're talking about things like image tagging, simple data entry, or testing software user interfaces. But what's absolutely fascinating is why this market even exists in the first place. When you do microtasks on a platform like Amazon Mechanical Turk, you aren't just blindly clicking buttons. You're often providing the foundational human feedback required to train massive machine learning datasets. When you do online testing, you're providing crucial quality assurance for multi-million-dollar tech companies right before they launch new apps to the public. You are literally being paid for your human intuition, and at scale that is incredibly valuable. Now, the trade-off here is pretty clear, right? It's small, immediate income versus zero upfront costs. Now, full disclosure, Tier 1 isn't going to buy you a private jet. But honestly, thinking that way is entirely missing the point. Earning your first $5 or $10 online is a massive psychological tool. It actually rewires your brain chemistry. It takes this totally abstract concept of making money on the internet and proves to you tangibly that the system actually works. It is the ultimate confidence builder for beginners because it gives you real, immediate validation without a single ounce of financial risk.
All right, let's level up a bit. Tier 2, selling skills. We are living in an era where attention is the absolute highest valued currency. And because of that, there is this massive explosion in the gig and creator economies. Companies constantly need daily blog posts, YouTube thumbnails, video editing, and specialized tutoring. Think of these skills as the literal picks and shovels of the digital gold rush. Every new startup, every single new content creator, they all need these foundational digital services just to survive. So if you have any aptitude for writing, design, organization, or teaching, your specific talents are currently in higher demand globally than at literally any point in human history. Freelancing is brilliant because it directly connects your existing skills to a massive global market of buyers. And it completely eliminates the friction of traditional hiring. You get to bypass those endless, agonizing rounds of corporate interviews and go straight to solving a client's problem. And here's the hidden superpower of platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, the algorithm momentum. It's like a giant flywheel effect. Getting your very first 5-star review, yeah, that takes the most effort. But once you secure it, the platform's algorithm starts to inherently trust you. It begins organically pushing your profile to more and more clients. The momentum just builds upon itself. Now, we always talk about the geographic freedom of working from anywhere, and sure, working from a beach is great. But the much deeper insight here is about asynchronous work. When you sell your skills online, you are taking back total control of your peak creative hours. You aren't forced to be productive from 9 to 5 just because a clock on the wall says so. If you write best at 2 in the morning, or maybe you edit videos best right after a midday workout, you have the ultimate autonomy to structure your output around your actual biological peak performance, rather than some arbitrary corporate schedule.
And here is where the landscape gets incredibly exciting. AI tools are absolutely everywhere right now, and let's be real, businesses are deeply overwhelmed by them. They know they need to use AI, but they just do not have the time to sit down and learn how. This creates a massive, massive opportunity for you to step in as an AI operator. You don't need to be a master copywriter or a world-class graphic designer from scratch anymore. You just need to be the smart, efficient operator directing the AI to generate high-quality outputs. By leveraging AI, a single freelancer can 10x their output, effectively operating with the speed and the volume of an entire digital agency. So the process to start seems pretty basic, right? Create a profile, apply for jobs, earn money. But the tactical execution is where you actually win. Do not just create a generic profile. You need to optimize it specifically for what clients are actively searching for. Use the exact keywords your ideal buyer would type into a search bar. And when you apply for jobs, please don't just send a copy-pasted resume. Instead, pitch a specific solution to that client's exact problem. Show them how you're going to make their life easier within the very first sentence of your proposal. That level of targeted positioning, that's exactly what separates the successful earners from everyone else.
Okay, let's move into the heavy hitters. Tier 3, audience building.
Now, this tier definitely requires significant upfront effort, but the payoff is totally unmatched because you are building what's known in the industry as owned distribution. When you gather an audience on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, or Twitch, you no longer have to pay for advertisements to reach people. You don't have to endlessly pitch to individual clients anymore. You essentially become your own media network. By consistently entertaining or educating a specific niche, you're aggregating attention. And in today's digital landscape, aggregated attention is an asset that can be endlessly monetized. This right here is the ultimate form of leverage. You are fully decoupling your time from your earning potential. See, with active work, the second you stop working, you stop earning. It's a direct one-to-one relationship. But audience building unlocks scalable income. Think about it. A video you researched, filmed, and uploaded 3 years ago can still generate ad revenue for you while you are sleeping tonight. Your content works around the clock, totally independent of your active schedule, and it opens the door to high-level brand deals and corporate sponsorships that completely shatter the standard hourly rate model. And within this tier, affiliate marketing is perhaps the most elegant way to monetize an audience, mostly because it operates entirely on trust. You don't have to manufacture a product, you don't hold physical inventory, and you definitely don't have to deal with angry customer service emails. Instead, you're acting as a highly specialized digital storefront with literally zero overhead. You curate and recommend the exact tools, software, or products that you genuinely use and trust yourself. When your audience makes a purchase based on your curation, you earn a percentage. You are quite literally monetizing the trust and authority you've built within your specific niche. So, how do we actually put this into practice? Let's wrap up with taking your first step. Honestly, the greatest threat to your success in the digital economy isn't a lack of opportunity. Not even close. It's shiny object syndrome. Focus is absolutely your greatest asset here. Please do not try to launch a freelance writing career, a brand new YouTube channel, and a survey hustle all on the exact same day. It won't work. Pick just one single method. Enter the feedback loop, learn the mechanics, deeply improve your specific craft, and then, and only then, start to scale your efforts. Master the basics, earn that first digital dollar through absolute laser focus, and you can build your empire outward from there. The digital world rewards action, not perfection. I absolutely love this quote from our source material because it captures the exact reality of the modern internet. Because it costs you exactly $0 to start, your actual cost of failing is also zero. You do not lose your life savings if your first freelance pitch gets rejected or your first video gets 0 views. So waiting around for the perfect lighting, the perfect profile setup, or the perfect moment is entirely illogical. The digital economy moves at blistering speed, and it vastly prefers those who just jump into the arena and execute, over those who sit on the sidelines waiting for things to be perfect.
So I'll leave you with this. Which method will you start today? Are you going to knock out a few micro tasks tonight to earn that first digital dollar, just to prove to yourself that the system really does work? Or are you going to outline a strategy to leverage your writing skills as an AI operator by tomorrow morning? This zero investment reality isn't some far-off futuristic concept. It's sitting right in front of you. The infrastructure is already built. The opportunity is wide open. Pick your path, take that crucial first action right now, and let's get building. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.